calm in the mind. So a huge aspect of the yoga practice is that it allows our bodies to work through the stuff and whatever is kind of clogging us up to help us be more clear. And when we do that, we can then tune into what's going on up here, right? And so with our practice today, let's think about tuning into a mantra of let go. Inhale, let, exhale, go. And this is a simple mantra, obviously. It's English words, it's nothing complicated, that you can use anytime you need. And I really like this one. I do this when I'm driving. Driving down the highway and someone cuts me off and I'm like, hey! And then I'm like, let go. So helpful way to just allow whatever duck is up there to release. Okay? It doesn't mean it doesn't come back. That's human nature. So rest your hands down. Take a little bit of time to move through your pelvis to find that tilt of your belly a little bit forward. Draw your shoulders up and back. Lengthen up through the crown of your head and let your eyes close. And from this place, begin to allow your breath to happen in and out of your nose. As you start to notice your breath moving in and out, observe how it feels as it moves. Some people notice the breath as you inhale, it starts at the base and moves to the crown. Exhale, crown to tail. Some people notice it as you inhale from the crown down to the base. So just take a moment to notice how you notice your breath. And now tune into that mantra, inhaling the word let, and you can always say it out loud if you would like. Exhaling the word go. Inhaling let. Exhaling go. And connect your hands together at heart center. And as you inhale the word let, press your palms together and lift up taller. As you exhale the word go, bow towards your heart. And softly opening your eyes, release your hands down and gently draw your shoulders up and back a few times, rolling back with your shoulders. As you roll back with your shoulders, you might take your head a little bit side to side or turn your head a little bit. And start to give yourself the information of what's going on through your neck and your shoulders, your upper back. And now let your shoulder blades rest on your back. Turn your palms open. Inhale, reach all the way up overhead. Exhale, hands come to your heart. So we're going to move through this motion 3 more times. And as you move, what I want you to think about is keeping your shoulder blades on your back. Typically, your shoulders lift up towards your ears if you don't do anything through this motion. But actively keep your shoulder blades on your back. Inhale, circle your arms up and around. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, circle up and around. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. This time, inhale, circle up and around. Exhale, take a twist over to the left side. Press your hands down, find lots of lift and length through your sides. Exhale, low ribs draw in, will help you twist more. Inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale, take your twist over to the right side. Big inhale, sit tall. Exhale, low ribs draw in. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands come down in front, and you can always have blocks underneath your hands here. But work your way out as deeply into a fold as your body needs. And if you would like to, you can always stack something like maybe a stack of blocks to set your head on. This is a wonderful way to release through the nervous system. Take a couple big breaths wherever that is for you. Then inhale, gently rise back up and switch the cross of your legs if you're sitting cross-legged. And shift your sitting bones. And now hands out to your knees. Begin to move through some rounds of breath here. Inhaling to sit tall and lengthen. Exhaling to round your spine back. If you like to, you can close your eyes here and add that let go mantra. Inhaling, let. Exhaling, go. One more breath this way. And then as you come back to a neutral place for your spine, again, turn your palms. And inhale, circle your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Inhale, circle your arms up overhead. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, draw your low ribs in, twist a little bit more. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, lift up taller. Exhale, low ribs in. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands come to the floor in front. And again, work your way out as low as your body needs to go in this fold. And you might stay more upright here. Again, you might find something to place underneath your head. Take a deep, full breath. Inhale, rising back up to your hands, and now shift forward on the hands and knees, maybe taking out anything that you're sitting on. And then set yourself up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Pause and rotate your elbow pits forward, push into the ground. And now we're gonna tuck our toes under here. So I'm gonna turn sideways so you can see, hopefully not blocking anything. Tuck your toes. And then settle your hips back toward your heels into a child's pose. Starting to feel a little stretch through the bottoms of your feet, through your arches. You might walk your hands a little further forward in this version of child's pose. Take a deep breath as your head comes to rest. And again, you can always set your head on a block here. Deep, full inhale, long, deep exhale. Then inhale, rise up to hands and knees. Sat yourself up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Next inhale, reach your left leg back behind you, turn open with your hip, turning your toes to the side. Take a big breath, press through your heel. Tone your low belly, press through your hands. Exhale, left knee comes down. Inhale, reach back with your right leg, turn open with your hip, press through your heel. Keep pulling in with your belly and pushing with your hands. Exhale, your knee comes back to the ground, and then settle hips all the way back toward your heels again. Again, your toes are tucked under here. This is that stretch through your arch. Take a deep breath. Then inhale, rise back up to your hands and knees. Reach your right leg back behind you, turn open with your hip. On your exhale, step your right foot forward in between your hands so you have a lunge going on here. And with that lunge, if you want to, you can have blocks underneath your hands. Work your back knee back so you have a little more stretch through your back thigh. Then focus on your right hip and send your right hip crease back in space. You might find that your knee unbends a little bit. So as that happens, bend deeper into your knee joint. Take a deep breath. Then settle all the way back onto your hands and knees. Reset yourself. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Rotate elbow pits and push. Inhale, left leg reaches back. Turn open with your hip. And then step left foot forward in between your hands, coming to that lunging place. Work your back knee back as far as you need. Center out your hips. Extend your heart. Take a deep breath. And then release hands back to the ground. Settle onto hands and knees. And again, find that rotation of your upper arm bones and push. Push your toes into the ground and rise up with your hips into your downward dog. If that's in your practice today, you're welcome to stay on hands and knees here. And then pedal out. And as you pedal out, you're thinking of getting a longer stretch through your calf muscles. Not so much trying to send your heel to the ground, but just lengthening through the back of your leg. One more deep breath here. And now walk your way forward, coming into your forward fold at the front of your mat. You have blocks again for your hands if you would like. Your feet are inner hip distance apart and parallel. Lift and spread your toes, and then push your toes into the ground. Bend your knees and push your heels down. You might feel your glutes fire up or your hamstrings fire up when you do that. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Hands up above your knees, send your sitting bones up. Extend your heart. Take a full breath. Then exhale, fold over your legs. Plant your fingertips, step your right foot back into your lunge. Take a full breath here. Remember, you can always bring your back knee down here in these lunges. Bring your hands up to your hips to rise and center off your hips. Good. So now inhale, stretch your arms overhead. And exhale, hands come into your heart. Good. Inhale, circle your arms up overhead. Now exhale, take a twist over to the left side. So your right hand is coming to your left knee or thigh. Left hand to your hip. Send your left hip back in space. Lift your sides. Take a full breath. Inhale, back to center. Reach your arms. And exhale, hands come down to the front of your mat. Find your blocks. And now work your front leg towards straight. And as you find that straight place for your front leg, push your left big toe bone down. Send your left hip back in space. Bend your back knee and send your hips, sitting bones up. Full big breath. Inhale, bend into your front knee. Plant your hands and step back, downward facing dog pose, and take a moment in your down dog to feel the difference between your sides. You can always move around a little bit here, pedaling out or swaying your hips. And then walk your way forward, moving back into your forward fold. Take an inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold over your legs. Hands to blocks if you want. Step your left foot back into your lunge. Again, back knee up or down, your choice. Hands up to your hips to rise. Send your right hip crease back in space. Push down with your hands, lift your ribs, lift your chest, lift your heart. Take a full big breath. Good. Now, hands coming to your heart. Pause for a moment here and push. Hands together, draw your shoulders up and back, lengthen the back of your neck. Now, inhale, stretch up with your arms. Exhale through heart center. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, take that twist over to the right side. Left hand to your right near thigh. Right hand to your hip. Push down and lift up taller. Send your right hip back in space. Big breath. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands come down to your blocks. Find the highest point. And then work your front leg towards straight. Shift your blocks underneath your shoulders. Push your right big toenail down. Wrap your right hip back. Then a little bend to your left knee, tilt your sitting bones up, trying to find a little more lumbar curve here, a little low back bend. Take a full breath as you grow longer through your spine. Good. Inhale, bend into your front knee, plant your hands and step back, downward facing dog pose. Take a deep breath. Then settle all the way down with your knees, and then hips to heels. Take a child's pose. Deep, full inhale. Long, deep exhale. If you'd like to, you can add that mantra of inhaling let, exhaling go. Then inhale, rise up to your seat. Locate your ball. Find whatever you're using. It can be a tennis ball or one of these these are almost like a racquetball type consistency. Whatever you happen to have, set it on your mat and then come up to stand. Any way you want to. You can flow through a beautiful vinyasa if you want to. Once you come up to stand, you get to pick the foot you're going to do first. You don't have to do the same foot as me, because we're going to do both sides. Gotta be even, right? So now put the ball underneath your foot. Put your foot on the ball. That's better with your foot. And then you're going to roll your foot over the ball on your arch, from the inside to the middle to the outside. You know that your foot has three main arches. So you have the main big arch that we all know and love. You have an arch over the front of your foot. It's called transverse arch. And then you have an arch on the outside of your foot. It's a smaller arch, so we don't really think of it that way, but we have three arches. So right now, we're getting into the small arch on the outside of your foot, to the main big arch to the inside of your foot. Good. And now, pause in the very center and just press a little bit. As much as is comfortable, this can be kind of tender if you have a lot of foot stuff going on. Or it might just feel good. And if so, then say, yay for me. I think because I've jammed my feet into tight climbing shoes for so many years, there's always tension. Okay, so now you're going to move the ball to the front part of your foot where that transverse arch is, and it's not right at your toes, but it's where your toes connect to your foot, okay? So you're going to press down and even try to wrap your toes around like you're going to try to grab the ball. And then keep that press down and just rock your foot back and forth over the ball. If you want to, you can even imagine major organs in your body smiling. You don't have to do that. Okay, so now bring your heel to the ball, and you're going to make circles around the outside of your heel. And now at the front part of your heel, there are two pressure points that if you've ever worn orthotics, then often there are two bumps that stick up right in these spots. And these pressure points actually support your arch. So as you rock over the front part of your heel, you're thinking of massaging out those two pressure points. And again, you might feel tenderness. You might not. If your arch tends to feel pretty clear, then you might not feel tenderness. But those pressure points are points that really affect a lot in our foot and all the way up our bodies, really. Okay. And then step off for a moment and just feel. Notice both feet on the ground. And then other foot. First, rolling up and down the arch, or both of the arches, right? So as we talked about, there are 3 major arches, and we are going over the really big one that we all know, and then that outside edge one as well. Good. And now in the very center, and just push as much as your body is ready for. You don't want it to be really intense, because when there's a lot of tension, then your body and your nervous system kind of just get really tight. Okay, so you want it to be maybe a little bit of tension that you can still breathe and relax. Okay. Okay, and now move it to that transverse arch in front of your foot, goes over it, and push. And then grab with your toes, and then move the ball side to side. Move the ball side to side with your foot. And then you can even notice for yourself if this side, if this foot has more tension, less tension than the other foot had, or where you feel it differently. If it's not symmetrical beings. Okay, and then move it to your heel. You go around your heel. And then that front part of your heel, side to side. Trying to target those 2 pressure points. Good. Okay, and then step off and just notice how do both feet feel. And then you can move your ball aside. And bring your hands together at heart center. And with your eyes closed, notice all the way down to your feet. Push into the floor, stand taller. Inhale, stretch up overhead. Exhale, bent knees to pull over your legs. Inhale and lengthen part way. Exhale and fold. Plant hands, step all the way back to your down dog, and in your down dog, take just a couple pedals with your knees. And then all the way down onto your knees, hips back to your heels, take your child's pose, and it's your choice. You can always take your toes tucked or untucked, either one. Deep breath. Then inhale, gently bring yourself up to your seat. And we're going to do just one more quick, because it's just about time to lay all the way down onto our backs. One more quick massage for our feet. So you're going to sit how it's comfortable so that you have access to one of your feet. You're going to just set it either over your knee or maybe you prop it up on a block. You want to be able to reach it with both hands and comfortably so you can sit, right? So hands, the bottoms of your palms come together, and you're bringing that to the top of your feet, of your foot, and then your fingers wrap around to the bottom of your foot, and then you pull apart, like you're trying to spread the skin on the top of your feet, and then move that action from your toes all the way to your ankle. I don't know if you can see, but I like to put a little body weight into it and move with it. If you have ever had a massage before, and I'm guessing at least most of you have, then your massage therapist puts their body weight into it, right? So you can add some weight here. Okay, one more thing, you're gonna make a fist with the hand closest to the bottom of your foot. And with that, you're gonna take your knuckles up and down your arch. And again, you can put some body weight into it. A rocking motion helps. Okay, other foot. Again, bottoms and palms come together. Fingers wrap around, and then you're gonna slide the skin. Wrap it around. From your toes down to your ankle. And then fist, up and down your arch. Helps you stick your tongue out. Okay. And now go ahead and put both feet on the ground and lay all the way down. And from here, notice your back body on the ground. Notice your feet on the ground. You can set your arms down, close your eyes for a moment, and take a full breath. And now soles of feet come together as you open your knees up wide. And from this place, you can always take blocks right underneath your legs. Make sure there's no tension through the hip flexors and the hip supporting muscles. Full big deep breath as your feet connect. You can take hands to your belly here, or one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Just take a moment to tune back into that letting go mantra. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. And then gently bring your knees back up to center and walk your feet out wide. And then slowly move with your knees and your windshield wipers. And as you move with your knees, just check out what each side feels like. Notice that lift of one hip and then the lift of the other hip. And what's happening through your glutes, your low back, your quads. Maybe even into that pocket muscle called the TFL. And then come back in the center here. You're welcome to just let your knees drop and touch, or you can grab a bolster to put underneath your legs. Reach your arms overhead for a moment and move through your pelvis. A little swivel here. And then begin to find your most comfortable resting pose. Might be laying all the way out completely. Might be adding whatever props you need. Begin to find that place where your body can settle, release, and let go. If you want to add that letting go mantra in, inhale, let, and exhale, go. take a deeper breath. Gently add a little movement into fingers and into toes. And as you're ready to bend your knees and roll to one side, and slowly bring yourself back up to a comfortable seat. The hands coming to heart center, eyes closed. Tune back into that mantra. Inhaling left, exhaling up. Have a very peaceful, very beautiful rest of your day. Have a wonderful weekend. Namaste. Thanks, everybody.